NXT Takeover 2 Fatal 4-Way really showed us how good things are down in Florida for the WWE. Welcome back, everyone. This is Jason. Yeah, I got myself pretty psyched up for this show, and well deservedly. You know, sometimes you go into a pay per view with little or no expectation, just in case it sucks, and then you don't feel bad that you bought it or watched it or whatever. Well, this 2 hour spectacle, it's the third one that they did down there in NXT. Um, just an incredible show, top to bottom. Well produced, well written. Between the in ring wrestling, the interviews, the backstage segments, it all just ran like a well-oiled machine. Um, so I'm just gonna go top to bottom real quick on what some of the highlights were. There was highlights in everything that happened tonight. Really, there was nothing. I wouldn't say there was anything bad that happened on tonight's show. Obviously, some stuff was more important than others, but overall, just damn good. Started out with great action from the tag team division. The Ascension were defending their titles against a newer team on the roster of Kalisto and um, Sin Cara. And you want to talk, even though this team is really new, um, yeah, these guys work together like they've been doing this for years or at least months, and they've been barely together what seems like a few weeks since this tournament started. Um, with the loss of Rey Mysterio and the loss of Alberto Del Rio, I think WWE is really hurting as far as that lucha style, or at least someone representing Mexican or Latin wrestlers, uh, that Latino heat, really missing. And they thought they found something with Katie's getting at my keyboard. They thought they found something really special with Sin Cara. Now, the Sin Cara, and if you don't know, the Sin Cara that's down there now is not the original Sin Cara. The original Sin Cara that they brought in is gone, done, zip, zilch, nada. Uh, got hurt too much, and they just decided to let him go back to El Mexico. But they they invested a lot in the Sin Cara character itself. So I think they did something really smart. Um, they decided to take Hunico and put the suit on him, because Hunico is a much better wrestler, top to bottom. Ever since they replaced him with Hunico and put him in the Sin Cara character, hands down, just 10 times better. Seriously, it's not a botch fest anymore. It's really, really well done. And this new kid, Kalisto, came up from the Evolve brand, um, Dragon Gate USA, that company down there. Just a fun kid to watch. Seriously, they found their next Rey Mysterio in this kid. Seriously, he will carry the torch for the Luca style, wrestling, um, in this company going forward. Seriously, uh, the way these guys took on the Ascension, there had been some rumblings, like I said before, that it seemed like the Ascension were gonna lose tonight so they can get to the main roster. But you never know. Um, I was right on with most of my predictions, and there were a few surprises tonight, but I was right on with most of them. Probably one of the better prediction vids I did as far as being right. Um, but yeah, Kalisto and Sin Cara took the belts from the Ascension tonight. The Ascension, none too happy about that. Obviously, going to be looking for some revenge in the sooner than later. Great match. New NXT Tag Team Champs. Next, we had a match that was not planned, but was a very nice surprise. It was a squash match, but it was nice. It was the debut of Baron Corbin, and apparently C.J. Parker put out an open challenge, to get on the show. But Baron Corbin's been out there before, but he was always beat by someone. I think he was in a match maybe a few months ago with Rusev, and then before with I can't remember. Maybe it was against Connor or something, but he was beat, so he wasn't really noticed. So this was his chance to really shine and make a statement against a guy like C.J. Parker. Oh, and he did. Holy crap! He did 3 moves on him. It's like a 30-second match. First, he locked up with him, threw him in the corner. C.J. Parker, stunned a little, got back up, ran at him. Baron punched him, and it was loud. He hit him so hard it was you seriously heard it. Knocked him down, picked him up, and then gave him. And I looked it's a move we've seen recently. Not exactly. It's a twist on a different move that we've seen recently. It looked similar to Bray Wyatt's move, but it's not exactly like it. I did a tiny bit of research, and it looked like it was a swing reverse STO. I think that's what it's called. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. Correct me. But I believe that's what it was. They didn't say what his finisher was, but they were just, shocked as much as anyone watching it, I think. But yeah, Baron Corbin beat him in like 30 seconds, and then just walked out of the ring and walked to the back, didn't get up on the ropes and cheer, just beat him and left. And it was just, wow, really made a statement that this kid is, not messing around. So yeah, it'll be great to see what he does in the future. Certainly, a bright shining star this kid is. The first thing I thought of, because this guy is so stoic. He's 6'8", almost 300 pounds, and he's not like jacked like Cena. He's just a big guy. And I was like, wow, what other super tall guys that are, look stoic and, they're built, but they're not, jacked up. They're just trim and they, move quick and they got big power moves. What's another guy like that? Old school. Undertaker. Let me tell you something. This kid stays healthy. And they book him right. And knowing Vinnie Mac, he doesn't do it a lot, but he likes to rehash some gimmicks here and there. This kid does certainly have the beginnings of the look of what could be the next Undertaker. Not saying they're going to just, make him the Undertaker. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying he could be that special. Okay? So keep your eye on that kid. I know I certainly am going to be. Next, we had the hair versus hair match. Sylvester LaFord against Enzo Amore. and this is one pairing that it didn't just end at the match. It went on over the course of the evening because obviously some shenanigans went on. And well, even though Sylvester Lafort, I love saying that name, it's so funny. Even though Lafort lost, he didn't get his hair cut. But his partner in crime, Marcus Louis, ended up getting a beat down from Big Cass and Enzo Amore, and got the big bucket of hair cream dumped on his head. And it was even a little flashback to the old Dudley Boys gimmick there. Big Cass was on the stage, screamed at the crowd, Enzo, get the bucket. And it was, just like the get the tables gimmick, it was that was funny. It was definitely one of the funnier moments of the night as far as comedy goes. And that's one thing. This show had everything. It had the good interview segments, great ring action, a little bit of comedy and mixed in there from Big Cass and Enzo. And they also asked him what kind of haircut he wanted, and they turned the whole. I'm not going to repeat the whole thing, but they went through like 10 different old style haircuts they were going to give Sylvester, and instead of the typical name a haircut and then a what chant, they named a haircut and then they said a how you doing, so they kind of transformed their own version of the what chant into how you doing. uh just great. These guys are so fun to watch, Enzo Amore and Big Cass. I was really hoping that for the show that they would have won the tournament and become the new tag champs, but um, their time will come. I sincerely think their time will come. When, I don't know, but for now, uh, it is what it is, and this rivalry will go on for a while. But it's fun. It's really fun to watch these guys. But yeah, Marcus Louis ended up getting. Oh man, he got the stuff dumped on him, and then they showed him later, um, a segment backstage later, and they picked him up through a towel. He had a towel on his head because he was hiding his head, and they carried him out to the ring, took the towel off of him, and he had just little tufts of hair on his head, no eyebrows, and just looked like a total freak. And oh, just a riot, So the fact that they didn't just end it at that match, and they visited here and there, later in the night, it was great. So much fun, good stuff. Then William Regal came out, and we had the Kenta segment. Now, before I go any further talking about Kenta and his new name and stuff, and what happened to him, uh, wow, William Regal. First of all, it's great to see William Regal as a GM. um, if you looked at him, he had a he had a he had a presence at Takeover. He did. He looked I don't know. It's what I'm looking for. Uh, he looked sly. He looked something. He had something on his mind, and he wanted to get it off his chest, but he didn't get a chance to. Um, he's not he's not going to be any kind of happy-go-lucky GM. He's going to be a classic, sly, possibly evil William Regal. Um, we'll have to see what how this happens over the course of the next few weeks with William Regal, but he's going to be a different kind of GM. You know, um, It's gonna be cool. So yeah, Kenta comes out, and you can tell he's been working on his English. He did okay. He did okay. He didn't, I don't think he started out talking Japanese, and I think that threw the crowd off a little bit. Obviously they know he's Japanese, but half of his promo was not in English. So then when he started speaking English, and it was okay, it was decent. He's getting better, and I think he'll improve, as the weeks go on. But and then the Ascension came out, and they threw him out of the ring, and they wanted to approach William Regal about getting their titles back. Well, he changes his name. Oh, excuse me, I skipped that. Kenta changed his name to Hideo. I'm going to say this right. Hideo Itami. And he said it's a tribute to one of his heroes, something. So there must have been someone else named that or means something. I don't know. But anyways, well, he brushes himself off after getting thrown out of the ring, gets back in the ring and clears the ring of the Ascension, and then gets a chair, and it looks like he's gonna swing it at him. No, he's civilized. He sits it down. He sits on the chair, and he's like, "Come on." Pretty cool segment. Pretty cool way to introduce, the artist formerly known as Kenta, Hideo Itami. Yeah, this is he's going to be a lot of fun to watch in the weeks to come. It's going to be fun watching his, what they do with him. Should be cool. Next, another squash match, but it was okay. Like I said, they've been building up Bull Dempsey versus Mojo Rawley, and it's been decent. It hasn't been anything earth shattering, but it's been okay. It was a quick match. Mojo Rawley didn't have a chance, and he even got his head knocked in. He was bleeding by Bull Dempsey. Beat him pretty quick. And the finisher was a diving headbutt of all things. So something new and different for him. I don't know if he's used that before, but that was it was cool. It was just short but sweet. Came out on Bull Dempsey showed his power and really gave Rawley a beating. And then like I said earlier, with the Enzo and Big Cass, it was after this segment that they dragged him out and they showed Marcus Louis how horrible he looked. That was when this segment happened. So funny. Then we had the NXT Women's Championship match between Charlotte and Bayley, and the psychology of the match was good, but the wrestling wasn't that great. So it there were parts of it that stood out that made up for other things. But yeah, this was the only one that I actually got wrong. I actually thought Bayley was gonna beat Charlotte. I predicted that, but I was wrong. Charlotte actually kept her NXT Women's title, and she didn't come out with Flair. It was originally announced that Flair was going to come out and introduce Hideo, and then it seemed like he might come out with Charlotte. It didn't happen. He wasn't around. He couldn't make it. I didn't hear why. I haven't read any news on it. All I heard is that the segment got changed and he wasn't there. All he did was Flair went on Twitter and wished his daughter good luck, which is nice. Yeah, at least he did that. But yeah, Charlotte retained. Obviously, this rivalry will still go on. How long? I don't know. But it was okay. It was decent. It wasn't as good as Charlotte's match with um, Natalia for uh, for the NXT Women's Championship at the last big show, the last Takeover. Um, but this was good. Well, then it had a segment later with Sasha, and so it looks like Sasha's going to get in the mix with this too. Last but certainly not least, the NXT Championship, Fatal 4-Way. Tyler Breeze versus Sami Zayn versus Tyson Kidd versus Adrian Neville. Um, wow. Um, this match from start to finish was really good. Certainly the highlight of the night for me. Um, my only problem I had with it is Adrian Neville was barely in the match. You know, he he did his spots that he had to do to win the match, but and he came across as his interviews leading up to this. It's like, okay, you can tell he's confident. He's a confident champion, but he's starting to sound cocky. I think he's starting to turn a little. Um, and that's why I said, I think in my prediction video, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes heel soon and sides with William Regal. But that remains to be seen. We'll see. I wouldn't say that's a definite thing. I'm just saying he's kind of riding that fine line, especially from how he finished the match. Sami Zayn had him won, and then he pulled the ref out and stopped the match. So yeah, that stunk up the joint a little bit there. But so yeah, I was hoping Sami Zayn would have won, but Adrian Neville kept it, and yeah, we'll see. We'll see where it all goes. Certainly a good champ. Match was great. Um, Going back to the whole thing where Adrian Neville got kicked out of the ring. I don't know how many times. Could have been like 10 dozen times. Got thrown out of the ring right after he tried to do something. And that got a little old because it happened so often. And I actually compared it to when um, when John Cena won um, when they had the ladder match for the championship and he won. He got thrown out of the ring an awful lot in that match too, and then he ended up winning it. So I kind of compared this to that as far as the psychology of it. That didn't really fly with me, but the action was great. All the guys stood out and put on a great match. They really did. Um, if you were following Twitter and you saw a certain selfie come out before the show, showed Triple H with Kenta and Prince Devitt and Kevin Steen all doing the symbol. And I think he was really teasing us fans. I think Triple H was really you had that feeling like, oh, it's getting close to the show. Oh, maybe these guys will actually show up and surprise. And like I said, it'd be great if Steen somehow made made an appearance, screwed Sami Zayn, and renewed that rivalry that they had in the Indies, and Ring of Honor, El Generico and Steen. priceless. I can't wait to see that happen. So I had a feeling something was going to happen. I didn't get myself too excited about it. I'm glad I didn't because, well, they didn't show too soon. You know, I think Kevin Steen tweeted later, patience. You know, and that's true. So many fans nowadays want everything handed to them on a silver platter. They want their stuff right now. They want it 5 minutes ago. They want to know everything. They want all their wrestling info and the results of everything spoon fed to them. It's like, why? What happened to the mystique in wrestling? It's like, I understand some shows get pre-taped and you get the spoilers and stuff like that, but man, it's like, whatever happened to just watching the product and being surprised and being happy with what came out? I'm not saying everybody has to just, yay, we love the WWE. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying everybody's got to just be the biggest WWE mark or whatever. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying fans, I think, should be a little more patient nowadays. With things have really changed over the last 20 years in wrestling with the multimedia and everything, or excuse me, social media. So when something happens in wrestling, there's like no surprise anymore. I know I'm going off on a tangent. Should be talking about NXT. But anyways, the fact of the matter is that, it seemed like something big was going to happen, and thought maybe it could have, but it didn't. And Triple H knows that. He does. He put some kind of hashtag in there saying, selfie, and he said, what hashtag watch the internet explode or something to that effect. And it's like, yeah, I posted that picture on RSN as soon as I saw it, and it was everywhere. The picture was everywhere. I saw on Facebook, all over the place. So yeah, people. He got people talking. He really did. He wasn't stupid. He knew what he was doing. He got people excited for the show. But yeah, so we gotta wait. We just gotta be patient. Devitt and Steen will have their day in NXT. What Triple H is going to do with them, we'll see. It seems like he's putting a team together. Whether they're going to be aligned with Kenta or not, I don't know. Would be cool. Could be another big, big team like the Shield. Maybe we'll have to wait and see. So that's the show from top to bottom. I was right with most of my predictions, off a little bit, but yeah, just a wonderfully entertaining wrestling show. Really, I think it really showed the fans how special that brand is, and what they're really trying to do is make NXT the brand on the network. And well, they're well on their way from doing a damn good job of doing that. They really are. So that's the show. Great show. We saw the debut of a few guys. Hideo Itami, Baron Corbin made his official big debut. We got new tag champs, and just a whole lot of fun. So, what were your thoughts of NXT Takeover? Put it in the comments below. Let me know what you thought. What was your favorite parts? Did you make your own predictions? Were you right? I was a little off, but I've made some okay predictions. I made some bad predictions. This one was okay. So that's it, guys. Thanks a lot for watching.